Hey y'all, let's make some homemade French onion soup. It is a beautiful day here in Branson, Missouri, and I have never made French onion soup at home. I always get it though. 9 times out of 10, if it's on a menu at the restaurant, I'm gonna give it a try. So we're gonna give it a try here today. Start off with 4 large onions. I'm gonna give them a slice, and I'm gonna try a trick again that I've learned, that you take some paper towels and you get them wet and you set them beside your onions. They say that this soaks up all of that juice or that odor that makes you cry. We're just gonna give it a try. I've tried it before and I don't know if it helped or not, but I mean, it couldn't hurt. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna slice your onions up, and you're gonna do those real thin and long ways. 2 seconds in, and I can tell you right now that paper towel is not working, unless maybe I hold it right here where it stops it. But I'm telling you, if it's helping, whew, then I would hate to see it without it. You might need some onion goggles today. I thinly slice these onions, really, really thin, just like this. Just like that right there. So I'm gonna slice up 4 pretty good sized onions, okay? 1 down, 3 to go. Somebody asked me the other day what kind of knives I was using, and I'm just using some Cuisinart knives. They came from Sam's, nothing special. Just regular old Cuisinart, that's what it is. And sometimes I have a different brand, just whatever I happen to pick up. 4 pretty good sized onions sliced up here, pretty thin. And I'm not sure if this helped or not, but my goodness, if it did help, whew, I'm glad I had it. And if you have chickens or you do compost or all that stuff, then you know what to do with all this, whatever you do with this. But I'm gonna tell you what I do with it. I just usually throw mine onto some aluminum foil and wrap it up. That way it doesn't make the trash stink. That's just what I do. So, but if you're one of those people who do all the stuff, then you know what to do with it. But this is just an idea that I have to make the trash not stink. So this is a slow soup. This is not a fast soup. This is something that's gonna take a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and melt about half a stick of butter into your skillet. I'm gonna use my electric skillet, but if you have just a regular pan or skillet, just put about a half a stick of butter in there and get it good and hot. Now we're gonna add our onions in, and you're gonna cook these slow and low. Got a little bit of a mess here. Gonna do slow and low. I lost about half a cup there on the floor. Pay attention. And you're just gonna get them really cooked down and caramelized, good and caramelized. So I'm just gonna let these set and cook on low and just kind of let them go. Stir them occasionally, just kind of watch them. Don't go too far away, but know that they're cooking. Now, at the grocery store, over in the deli section where they make the breads and stuff, they'll have some baguettes. Now, I got this this is French toast. French toast. This is French bread. And I got this over in the deli section. And as I was looking at it, the lady from the deli came over and said, "Would you like for me to slice that up for you?" And I said, "Oh, you do that? I didn't know, but they will slice this up for you at Price Chopper here in Branson, my favorite grocery store." And so go get you a piece of French bread, or if you don't like French bread, get the little baguette bread. I have a little bit of softened butter here, and I'm just gonna make a little bit of a spread for this bread. And I like the steakhouse feel of the French onion soup, because that's usually where I get it, is at a steakhouse when they have French onion soup on the menu. So I'm going to go ahead and use a steak seasoning to season my butter. So I'm going to use this. This is what I found, this Cattleman's, and it's made by Watkins. But you can just get any kind of steak seasoning that you like. But this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of that in there, about a teaspoon of that. And then also I have this buttery garlic and herb that I found in Kinder's. So I'm gonna try that. Just gonna put a little bit of that in there. And then we're just gonna give this a good mix. I'm putting it on pretty thick so it'll get really good and saturated down into the bread. My bread is ready for the oven, and these onions already look like they need a little bit of a stir after just a few minutes. I've got them on about 300 right now. as soon as they get good and cooked down, I'm gonna go ahead and turn them down even more. So now that they're cooked down pretty good, I'm gonna go ahead and add some salt. So I'm just gonna cover the perimeter of it with some kosher salt and with some coarse black pepper. Here we go. Give that a good mix. And now I'm gonna turn it down even more. So now we're gonna go down to about 200 and just let these continue to cook. If you guys don't have any fresh thyme, then some dried thyme will be fine, but I just happen to have some fresh thyme, which is strange because I usually don't. And my friend Heather, she is going to make me a little herb, some herbs. She's gonna, I do not have a green thumb at all. I can't grow mold. So she's gonna help me out and make me some little herb plants and bring them to me. And I am so excited about that because I just never have been the gardening type. All of my aunts and uncles and my grandparents were such good gardeners. They still are. My aunts and uncles have immaculate gardens. Mine the rows have to be big enough to get a lawnmower through so I can mow the weeds. So anyway, if you do have some fresh thyme, which I'm going to soon because she's going to help me out, but I have just a little bit here, probably about a teaspoon of that, just a good little teaspoon of thyme here. So that's probably a good tablespoon of thyme in there, fresh thyme. If you don't have fresh, like I said, use the dried. You guys, this smells so good. I got my bread out of the oven. This was about 12 minutes at 350. Perfect. Now I'm setting the oven up to 400 degrees now. I'm gonna go ahead and crank the heat up. I'm gonna crank it up pretty high here and get it nice and hot. And then I'm gonna deglaze my pan. Now, a lot of the recipes say you can use cognac or any kind of wine, but I found this white wine and I got it because it had the name Michelle on it. That's the only reason I got it, because I am not a wine drinker. I've tried wine, some are okay, but I'm just not a wine drinker. And to prove that, I will show you what happened. I had a YouTube how to use this thing, and then I mutilated the heck out of this cork and couldn't even get it out. And I had to get Steven upstairs to come down and help me pry that thing out of here. So, just so you know, I don't know what I'm doing. But I think I'm fancy now because I'm going to use a little wine in my cooking. All right, so here we go. We are going to do, it said about a half a cup. So you're going to deglaze your pan with your wine. So it's nice and hot. We'll do, oh, that's nice. All right, now that I've got all of these onions nice and caramelized, I am going to transfer these over to a pot so that I can put my broth in. And I'll think of something else to do with this. We'll figure it out. Oh, I don't even know if that'll go back in. I mutilated it so bad. Transferring over into a big pot. We're going to cook this on the stove now. I'm going to add 4 cups of beef broth. Add a couple of splashes of Worcestershire sauce. While that's cooking, we are going to shred up some Gruyere cheese. There you have it, just like that. You can use whatever kind of cheese, provolone, Swiss, Parmesan, whatever you like. I'm going to use this kind because I thought this recipe looked really good. So we're going to shred this up. And I found it, or I didn't find it, Greg found this. Onion jack, doesn't that sound good? So we're going to do a little bit of both of. I've been fighting with this cheese grater, so someone told me the idea to put it on a plate. So I got the plate a little bit wet, and then it has a little lock on the side, and I've locked it in on this plate, and I think it's gonna work. And I also had someone else tell me to get a bag and put over it like that, and then just shred it into there. So that's what we're gonna do today. Try this method here. Woo, we are cooking now. That worked really nice. Thanks for the tips. Now, if you have your own homemade beef stock that you made, I want to say congratulations. Now go ahead and give your soup a little taste just to see if it doesn't need a little more salt or pepper. And I think it does. I think it needs a tad more of both. Okay, y'all, this has been boiling for about 15 minutes. I'm so excited to put this in the bowls and get it in the oven. So I have my oven preheated at 400 degrees. Now we're gonna put it together. Do some soup. I'm gonna do a little cheese. And I think that we can do 2 pieces of bread because that bowl is pretty big. And this is gonna be like a meal. This will be your meal. So now we're gonna put our cheese right on top. Oh yeah, this is cool. These are going in the oven at 400 degrees until they're nice and bubbly and have a little bit of a crust on them. I don't know how long that's gonna be. I'm gonna keep an eye on it and babysit it. And I'm just gonna share something that my Aunt Mary had shared with me this morning. I have always said that happiness is an inside job. You have to choose that you're gonna be happy today, no matter what, because things are gonna happen. And trust me, we all get tested every day, for sure. All day long, I'm always getting tested, but you have to just choose to be happy. And she sent me this and I wrote it, most of it down because it was so good. I started scribbling. I was getting ready this morning. I started scribbling this. Think yourself happy. And it says, Jesus said, cheer up 3 times. In John 16, he said, cheer up, for I have overcome the world. And Jesus, he lives in us and we can overcome the world too. And in Matthew 9, he said, cheer up, for your past is forgiven. Now, if that isn't something to be cheerful about, thank God that my past is forgiven. I remember my preacher used to say this when I was growing up. He would say, if somebody put your life up on a movie screen right here in front of everybody, we would all take off and run out of the church house. And that is the truth. Thank God. Thank God I didn't grow up with social media. Oh my gosh, thank you, Lord, that people recording everything that you're doing, and thank you, Jesus. But anyway, thank God that our past is forgiven. And you know what? That old devil, he will try every time you start succeeding or something's going good in your life and you think things are going good, that devil will bring up your past. And that only comes from him. That condemnation comes from him. Do not let him have any hold on you. Don't let him make you feel guilty about your past because you've been forgiven. Cheer up. Your past is forgiven. And then the last one where he says in Matthew 14, cheer up. It was during the storm. Cheer up. It is I. Don't be afraid. So if you're going through a storm right now, cheer up because he is here. He's in the midst of that storm and he's about to calm it. He is here walking with you. Do not be afraid because he is going to guide you through all the storms of life. All those things are something to be cheerful and happy about. He's forgiven your past. He's overcome the world, and don't be afraid because he is right here. It is I am here with you. Don't be afraid. So we need to be a light to people. They're struggling and they're looking for something. They're looking for hope. And if we're grumpy and hateful and we're supposed to be Christians and have the light of Jesus, geez, they don't want any part of that. So we have to show them the love of Jesus and the joy of Jesus. The joy of the Lord is our strength. Let's check on that soup. Now, if you want a little bit more of a crust on there, just leave them in a little longer, or you can, this was about 10 minutes, okay? But you could also put your broiler on if you want to do that. What in the Martha Stewart? All right, let's give it a try now and see if it's any good. Look at that. Gall dang, that's good. Y'all, go make this. It is so good. That's delicious. Look at that. Home run. Oh, go bless somebody's socks off. We'll see ya.